Hello, this is MrThaiBox123 and this is going to be my very first Q&A session. So I did an iPhone 3GS giveaway recently and I said in there that if you've got any questions for me, put them as comments and I'll do a Q&A session and I'll try and answer them all for you. So I've basically got written down here all of the questions which you've asked me in that, and if you'd like me to do another one, then be sure to put some comments below this video and I'll come back in a few weeks and do another Q&A and try and answer the questions that you've got. So before I start, I'd just like to say a big thank you to Dave over at the Geekanoids channel for all of the help and assistance he's given me. I definitely recommend you check out his channel, the Geekanoids channel, and also another great channel that he does called Daily Tech TV. I'll put the links down below and be sure to check that out. Some very good viewing on there. So my first question on here is from DSwag2134 and he says, who is my favourite UFC fighter? So as some of you might have worked out from my name on YouTube, I do quite a bit of mixed martial arts, mainly Muay Thai, and my favourite UFC fighter is George St. Pierre. I think he's an amazingly rounded fighter. He's got great stand-up, great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, and also a very classy guy as well in my opinion. So my favourite UFC fighter, George St. Pierre. Next one is from Mitch Talks and he asks, do you use iMovie to edit your videos? So yeah, I do use iMovie. That's the only thing I use. Sometimes I use Adobe Premiere, but it's a bit more complicated than what I need to do these videos. So yeah, iMovie, great product as far as I'm concerned. Definitely recommend that. One here from Vinny J904. He says, what has been my favourite product by Apple? Without doubt, the iPhone, and in particular the iPhone 4. When the first generation iPhone came about, I absolutely loved it and it's just revolutionised my life really. I don't go anywhere without my iPhone and it's a fantastic product, a revolutionary product in my opinion, one that everyone else really is trying to catch up to. So definitely the iPhone 4. Probably what would come in second would be the MacBook Air. I've got an 11-inch MacBook Air and that is an absolutely fantastic bit of kit. But without doubt, if I had to give everything away except for one, it would undoubtedly be the iPhone that I would keep. So I've got another question here from Diamasaur and they ask, do you like any other tablets more than the iPad, like the Samsung Galaxy, etc.? I haven't used any of the other tablet devices. I've only ever seen them in videos. The one that looks probably the best out of all of them, apart from the iPad, is probably the HP touchpad. That looks like a seriously cool bit of kit when that comes out, and there were some rumours as well saying that that actually might be pushed forward to April, so let's hope that happens so we can all have a look at those. But no, I mean, I'm a Apple through and through. I love the iPad. I think it's a great product. When the iPad 2 comes out, I think I'll probably use it a lot more than I do with this first iPad, sheerly because of the fact it's hopefully going to have a better screen and a front-facing camera, which are really the two things that kind of hold me back from using the current iPad. Got a question here from Guitar Soccer 1992. Very simple. He says, iPad 2, are you getting it? Yes, I will most definitely be getting the iPad 2. As soon as it comes out, I will definitely be purchasing one of those and hopefully bring you a review as quickly as I can on that. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. And I did a iPad rumour video as well if you want to check that out on the channel, which talks about the new features that might or might not be in the iPad 2. So, got another question here from RXGeneMJation01, I think that's how you pronounce it. And he says, any news from the next generation iPhone, which is the iPhone 5, and also news about Steve Jobs? Well, I don't really want to talk about Steve Jobs. I hope he gets better as soon as possible. I don't really want to comment on someone's health who I don't know. But as far as the iPhone 5 goes, it's going to have a whole bunch of stuff in it by the looks of it. I think probably iOS 5 is probably going to be the largest thing on that, and maybe the removal of the home button, maybe even still a better screen. But I think really the main thing around the iPhone 5 is going to be the increase in performance. Probably going to have a dual-core processor, more memory, more storage. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that are going to be in the iPhone 5 that are going to be very exciting. Question here, how did you get into reviewing and who are your biggest inspirations? Well, literally the only reason I got into reviewing is just because I've got this setup you see behind me, and I hadn't actually found anyone else that had done anything like this, and I thought, well, you know, maybe if someone does want to do this, then I can give them some information about it, like I was looking for when I started to do it, and unfortunately couldn't find very much. So really that was the main reason. And my main inspirations, well, the channel I watched the most was actually the one that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and that's Dave from Geekanoids. I think he does very, very good reviews on all the products. He's good to listen to, and yeah, I mean, that's probably the main one that I personally liked initially. I really enjoy that channel, so I definitely recommend you check that out. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of people on YouTube that are really fantastic to watch, even the ones that aren't anything to do with tech. You know, there's loads of people that I really enjoy watching on YouTube. But in terms of the reviews and the way that they're delivered, really Dave from Geekanoids was the main inspiration there. One from Fly Crusher, who actually won the iPhone 3GS, and he says, can you do a what's in my dock video? I'll do one of those fairly soon if I can. Got one here from MProcom. He says, I'm considering purchasing a hard drive for backup. What do you think is a better additional hard drive to a machine or external hard drive in this situation? And he also says, which similar portable hard drives to the Samsung S1 Mini would you recommend at a similar price? So in terms of a backup drive for the for your machine, probably the small ones aren't going to be that good for you there because they don't go up to a very good size. But there's a whole bunch of brands out there that do really fantastic drives. Seagate, Western Digital, Freecom, you know, there's absolutely loads of them out there, and they're all much of a muchness really. I don't particularly have any preference. I've got a bunch from Buffalo which work very well and have been very reliable. But, you know, me personally, I'd probably just get the best performing one that I can get for the cheapest price. And especially on a backup drive, I'd probably just go for the cheapest one I could get because it doesn't particularly need to be very fast. In terms of the S1 Mini, I did a review on the S1 Mini. That's again on my channel, you can have a look at that. I haven't actually seen any other drives that are around the same size as the S1 Mini. So I've got a question here from RT44444. He says, considering the MacBook Pro range has had the same exterior styling for several years now, do you think this will be changed in the 2011 model? The 2011 MacBook Pro, again I did a video on that which talks a whole bunch about all the things that might or might not be in the MacBook Pro. There's going to be loads of stuff changed as far as I'm concerned in the MacBook Pro. Even the design of it's probably going to be changed very slightly. I think it's still going to look very, very much the same, but I think the size and the diameters are going to be reduced quite a lot. So I think that that's going to be a change. So I've got another question here from J273. He says, I've watched your setup video of the triple displays connected to your Mac Pro, and you mentioned the mini DisplayPort to DVI limits the resolution you can use. Is this only the case in Windows, or do you have the same problem with OS X? Yeah, in the video it tells you that basically I only have that problem with the Atalona converter in Windows. In OS X I get the full resolution on the screen. So yeah, it's only a Windows problem, and they've yet to come back to me with a fix for that yet, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. If they do, I'll definitely post a video up about that and how that works. So, got another question here from CJ Sensation. He says, Mac or PC and why? I mean, we could spend hours debating that. Me personally, I prefer to use OS X because it's more applicable for the things that I use. I love the fact that it's based around Unix. I've got a Unix background, and it's nice for me to be able to dip into the shell to do certain things that would otherwise take quite a long time from a graphical interface. There's a lot of things I don't like about OS X that I like in Windows, and there's a lot of things I like in Windows that I don't like in OS X. So, you know, it's really just a personal preference and really what suits the sort of roles that you're doing. I do use Windows as well sometimes, but like I say, on a day-to-day basis I prefer to use OS X purely because it's got a lot of the applications and performs the functions that I want to do slightly better than a Windows machine would. But like I say, I'm not particularly biased towards one or the other. I think Windows is a great product. I think they've done amazingly well supporting all of the different kinds of hardware that they have and still giving the sort of relative reliability that they have. And there's a whole bunch of Microsoft products that I really, really like. I'm not anti-Microsoft at all. So thanks for that question. A question here from Bendo Videos. What are your monitors called? So the bottom three are 27-inch Apple cinema displays, and the top ones are 24-inch Dell 2406s, I think they're called, something like that. But yeah, the main one's really the bottom three, and they're three 27-inch Apple cinema displays. What camera do I own? I've got a Panasonic SD60 for doing videos, and as for a fixed still camera, I've only got a small compact camera at the moment, a Canon one, and I'm actually looking to buy either the Canon EOS 60D or the new 600D or the T3i Rebel, which is going to be coming out fairly short. I'm gonna make a decision on that and get one of those over the next month or two. What advice? Oh, sorry, we've got another question here from Adam Media. He says, what advice do you give to someone who's not got the confidence to go in front of camera but wants to confront the fear? Best thing to do is just do it. Just get in front of the camera, just start talking. If people don't like you, they don't like you. If they do, they do. You know, you just need to keep cracking on with it and just be yourself, put your personality across, and just make the video. Versus UK asks, are you a gamer? And if so, what is your impression of the PS Move and the Xbox Kinect? I'm not really a gamer. I do play the odd game, but I'm not really a heavy gamer. I prefer sort of technical stuff and you know, messing around with applications and servers and those kind of things rather than actually playing games. But my impression of the PS Move and the Xbox Kinect, haven't played the PS Move, but played the Xbox Kinect around my sister's house, and that's an absolutely fantastic product. Great fun, revolutionary, and you know, yet again, Microsoft pulled something fantastic out of the bag, and I'm presuming that PS Move is fairly similar to that. Got a question here from Steel Series. He says, do you think that Apple are going to release any more iPod classics, or is that the end of the scroll wheel era? Yeah, I'm kind of split on that. I'm not sure whether they will release another iPod classic or not. I'm really not sure on that one. I'm literally 50-50 on that as to whether or not they will release a new iPod classic. I'd like to think that they will, because they're kind of the very roots of the success of their most recent kind of successful period. So it'd be nice to see a new iPod Touch, but really I think probably, rather than in my heart, in my head, probably saying no, they're probably not going to release a new iPod Classic. I'm not really sure what more could be done with it. Question here from 419 Hybrid. It says, what do you do for a living? Basically, I'm a IT technical consultant. I do architectural design work on large computer systems with storage, virtualization and various other things. You probably would have seen in my intro that I mentioned Citrix and VMware. I do a lot of work with Citrix and VMware on the virtualization level, but yeah, that's basically my job. I am a architect, a technical architect, 9 to 5, and I've been doing that for about 15 years now. Got a question here from Pikadude609. He asks, how do you afford such awesome stuff? Well, going back to the previous question, I have to work very hard to be able to afford it, and I've been working for a very long time to kind of build up what I've got at the moment. So pretty much as simple as that. Let's have a look here. How old were you when you started becoming a gadget addict? Well, when I was young, there weren't really any gadgets. Probably the most gadget thing I ever had when I was a child was a yo-yo or something like that. There weren't really any electronic gadgets other than calculators. I do remember having some Scion organiser when I was about 15, which was a really cool piece of kit at the time. But really, I suppose from sort of 15 onwards, when mobile phones came out, that was really the kind of beginning of being quite addicted to the whole sort of tech and gadget thing. So thanks for that question. So another question from 419 Hybrid. What is your favourite TV show? I am a American TV show addict, plus a whole lot of UK TV shows as well. I love pretty much everything. I love the HBO stuff. I loved Oz. I loved The Wire. I like Smallville. I liked a whole bunch of different American TV shows. I like Californication, House. I love the Spartacus stuff. In the UK, I love Shameless, Skins, a whole bunch of TV shows I really, really enjoy from all around the world. So anyway, I better cut this video short because it's kind of going on too long, but thank you very much for those questions, and I hope you enjoyed the answers. I hope I gave you some decent answers there. Like I say, if you'd like to see another one of these videos, then put some questions in some comments below, and as they build up, I'll put together another Q&A session. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.